All right, so um, let's go through this quiz together, and maybe this will help answer some questions that you have on data dispersion or on this quiz in general. Okay, so question one, which data corresponds to the box and whisker plot below? So we have a box and whisker plot, and we have these four options, and we want to know which one of these options corresponds to this box and whisker plot. So the first thing I would do, just so you know what's going on, right, is just to label your box and whisker plot with your minimum, Q1, Q2, Q3, and your maximum, okay? And all four of these numbers, okay, fall perfectly on a number. The fifth one doesn't. That's your Q2. For some reason, it falls between 8 and 10, so we're going to put that right there. It's 9, okay? So the first two things I always want to look at is your minimum and maximum. Pretty easy to look at, right? So 4 and 14. Look at A. We've got 4 is the minimum, which works out well, agrees with my box and whisker plot. My maximum is 17, which does not agree with my box and whisker plot. We can cancel that one out. Okay. B. My minimum is 2. It does not agree with my box and whisker plot, so we can cross that out already. Okay. C and D, my minimum is 4, my maximum is 14 for both of them. So now we have to look at Q2. So how do I find Q2? Well, Q2 is my median. And to find my median, I need to know how many numbers I have. And C and D both have 7 numbers. So n equals 7, which is odd. And because it's odd, we just do n over 2, which is 7 over 2, which gives you 3.5. You round that up to the fourth position. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. Okay, my Q2 is 9 in both options. And that is what Q2 is. So that agrees with my data set, with my box and whisker plot. So we still don't have an answer yet. We have to move on to finding Q1 and Q3. So how many numbers do I have in each half? I have 3, right? So H is equal, H is equal to 3, okay? Which is odd. So because it's odd, we have to do H over 2, which is 3 over 2, which is 1.5. We round that up to the second position. So 1, 2 right there, 1, 2 right there. That's my Q3. This is my Q1. 1, 2 right there is Q1. 1, 2 right here. That's my Q3. Okay, the second position in each half. So for C, my Q1 is 5 and my Q3 is 10. That does not agree with my box and whisker plot at all. We can cancel that one out. For D, my Q1 is 6, Q3 is 12. Yeah, that works. So question 1, the answer is D. Okay. Question 2, given the following box and whisker plot, which option correctly completes the following statement? The amount of students who scored above 60 is blank the amount of students who scored below 60. So let's look at this. We have a box and whisker plot. First thing we want to do is kind of figure out where 60 is. And 60 is right there, right? 60 is right there on that number line, which falls exactly on Q2. Well, Q2 is your median, right? Q2 is your median. And what does the median do? It splits your data into 2 equal parts. There's the same amount of numbers below it as there are above it. So the amount of students that are below 60 and above 60 are exactly the same. It doesn't matter how big this section looks, okay? All that tells you is that the students are more spread out, they're more dispersed, okay? But the amount of data in each half is the same. Now let's say you forgot that Q2 is the median, okay? Let's say you forgot that completely, or you remember Q2 is your median, but you forgot what that means, okay? What do quartiles tell you? Well, quartiles are 3 numbers that split your data into 4 equal sections. Here's one section, here's another one, and here's the fourth one, okay? And you can see, because each section has the same amount of students, right, the same amount of data, if I draw 60 right here, I have 2 sections below 60, 2 of these sections are above 60, so there's the same amount of students above and below 60. So the answer to this one is A, the same as, okay? Question 3, given the following data set, which of the following is false? So read this question carefully. It's asking which one is false. So A, the IQR is 26. To find that, we're going to need to figure out what Q3 and Q1 is. So maybe we'll save that one later, okay? B, the range is 48. We can check that right away. Super easy. We find my max, find my min. 50 minus 2 is 48. So that works. We can cross that one out, okay? That's true. It's not false. C, Q1 is 13. Okay, well, like A, we're going to have to figure out what Q2 is first. So before we get to Q1 and Q3. So we'll save that one for later. D is Q2 is 24. So maybe we can start with that one. Okay, how do I find Q2? Q2, we have to figure out what the median is. So we have to know the amount of numbers. How many numbers do I have here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So n is equal to 8. That is an even number. So when it's even, we do n over 2 and n over 2 plus 1 to find the position of my median. 8 divided by 2 is the 4th position. And 4 plus 1 is the 5th position. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right between these two is my Q2 is my median. Okay. Now when Q2 falls between two numbers, just like when your median falls between two numbers, we just take those two numbers up, add them up, right? Take those two numbers, put them aside, add them up, divide it by 2. We're trying to find the average of those two numbers, right? And that tells you Q2 is 26, okay? And this one says Q2 is 24, which does not match. So this is the false one. Okay, so question 3, the answer is D. So for part A, the answers are D, A, and D. Okay. All right, so part B, we are given some data values and we're given a box and whisker plot. And we know here we have 8 numbers. Below are 8 out of 9 of the grades, okay? So we should have 9 numbers. So don't forget, okay, n is not 8, n is equal to 9, which is odd, okay? Our data set should have 9 numbers. We're just missing one of them. So n is 9, all right? So what do we know so far? We know from my box and whisker plot, right? 2 of the numbers that are always guaranteed to be in my data set are your min and max. So let's always start with those, okay? Your minimum is 8, your maximum is 98. And here they are. We can cross those out. And we can scroll down here. We've got 88, 98. We'll place them right here. My minimum is 88. My max is 98, okay? Now, we've looked for my min and max. We can move on to Q2. So Q2, to find that, we need to use what n is, right? To find the median. We know n is equal to 9, which is odd. So we do n over 2, which is 9 over 2, which gives you 4.5. We round it up to the 5th position. So we scroll down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right here is Q2. It lands on a number, not between two numbers. It is a number. It is pointing into a box in my data set, okay? Because it's an odd n. This Q2 falls directly on a number. So we scroll back up. What is Q2? It is 91. Is 91 here? Yeah, it is. We can cross that out. We'll place it in one of our boxes, 91. Okay. Next, how many numbers do I have in each half? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and here 1, 2, 3, 4. So H, okay, let's use a different color here. H is equal to 4, which is even, right? So when it's even, we have to do, well, now we're doing H, so H over 2, and H over 2 plus 1. So 4 divided by 2 is the 2nd position, and 2 plus 1 is the 3rd position, okay? So it's going to fall between my 2nd and 3rd positions. So 1, 2, 3, between these two, okay, is going to be my Q1, and my second half, 1, 2, 3, between 2nd and 3rd position, that's my Q3. They fall between two numbers. So that's not going to be exactly helpful for us. It's not going to fall on a number. It's between two numbers. So what that tells me is that my Q1, which is 89, and my Q3, which is 95, are not guaranteed numbers in my data. They could be. They might be numbers in my data. They're not guaranteed to be there, though. So at this point, I've used all of the information that I could get from my box and whisker plot. Right now, the last thing we could do is just to start filling these out in increasing order and see what works and what doesn't. So before we do that, let's just mark down Q1 and Q3 as 89 and 95. So 89 and 95. Okay, so my first three numbers that are here on my list are 89, 89, and 90. Let's put those here, 89, 89, and 90. Okay, do those make sense? So we know Q1 falls between these two numbers. So ideally, if we take the two numbers, 89 and 89, okay, and add them up and then divide by 2, that's a awful looking 9, okay, and divide by 2, that should give me back to my Q1. So 89 plus 89 divided by 2, yeah, it does give me back to 89. So these two are good. Does 90 go here? How do I know it doesn't go here instead? Well, we're going in increasing order. So 90 has to go right there below 91. Okay, so far so good. All right, let's keep going. After those three numbers, we got 92, then 96. So 92 right here, 96. Does that make sense? Can 96 go right here? No, because we're going in increasing order, right? And we know 96 is bigger than 95, so it can't go below Q3. We're going to scooch this up to over here, okay? So probably X goes right there, okay? How do I know X doesn't go here and 92 goes here, right? How would I know if that's the case, right? How do I know maybe this happens, right? Well, if this were the case, then 92 plus 96 divided by 2 should give me 95. Okay, so 92 plus 96 divided by 2, let's check. This gives you 94, which is not 95. So that's not right. Okay, so we know 92 goes right here and X goes right there. All right. Okay, so how do we figure this out now? We just take the two numbers that are next to my Q3, X and 96. Okay, so X, let's use a different color here. Let's go pink, yeah. X plus 96 divided by 2 should give you 95. So X plus 96, right, we cross multiply here, okay? Here we get 190, so X is equal to 190 minus 96. So X is just equal to 94. The missing score is 94, okay? And the last question. Mr. Hum times how long it takes students to complete his statistics test. We have a bunch of numbers here. We want to draw and label a box and whisker plot for this data. How many numbers do we have here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so n is equal to 15, which is odd. Let's keep that in mind for later. Okay, so my min is 52, my max is 71. So my min goes right here, okay? My max is 71. It goes right there about. Okay, maybe this one could go a little higher. About like right there. Okay. Yeah, like that. Okay. So n is 15. So we just do n over 2 to find my Q2 position, right? N over 2 is 15 over 2, which is 7.5. We round it up to the 8th position. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right there, okay? So Q2 is 61. So Q2 goes right there. Oops. Q2 goes right there. Okay. Min, max. Okay. So how many numbers do I have in each half, below and above Q2? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So H is equal to 7, which is odd. To find my Q1 and Q3 positions, I just do H over 2, right, because it's odd. So 7 over 2 is 3.5, which we round to the 4th position. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 56 and 65. Okay, 56 is right there. 65 is right there. Okay, we got a multicolored box and whisker plot now. All right. And so we could just connect those like that. Okay. There you go. And maybe I'll just complete this line here. Like that. Okay. So yeah, and we have a box and whisker plot. All right. Now, Question B is determine the range and IQR. So the range, we just take 71 minus 52. Okay, so 71 range is 71 minus 52. That's just going to be equal to 19. And for the IQR, we just take Q3 minus Q1. Q3 is 65 minus 56. So 65 minus 56. Oops, that's not right. 65 minus 56. And that's just going to be equal to 9. Okay, so your IQR is 19 and 9. And that's about all for the quiz. All right, so if you have any questions, just post in the comments below. All right, have a good day.